¡Viva la independencia nacional!
¡Viva! ¡Viva! ¡Viva México! ¡Viva!
Independence Day is just around the corner. That horn signifies it's just in a few days. Amigos, one of our favorite things about Mexico, about living in Mexico, is that Mexicans are so proud of their country, of their culture, of their traditions, of their food. And that is really on full display for Independence Day here in Mexico. And for that reason, really right next to Dia de Muertos, Independence Day, Las Fiestas Patrias are really one of our favorite times of all of Mexico, or favorite times to be in Mexico, rather.
It's crazy because this will be our 5th Independence Day here, which seems like you know, when old people talk about like back when I was your age, I feel like that's us right now. But I can't believe this will really be our 5th Independence Day here in Mexico. And so today we wanted to share some of our favorite memories, maybe some behind the scenes things that you guys may not have seen through the past 4 Independence Days.
Yes, starting with our very first Independence Day, which was before we started filming. Yep. We had just moved to Vallarta in August of 2016.
Yep.
What do you remember from our very first Independence Day? What are we doing tonight?
We are celebrating Mexican Independence Day. Right so close to me. Being so confused, having no idea, like I feel like somehow we knew there was going to be a celebration.
Yeah,
but I feel like other
big.
than that, like we had absolutely no idea.
Right.
I know you told me yesterday you had heard Viva Mexico.
Yeah.
Like on shows or on TV, or like, you know, it was a thing, but I think hearing it in person with tons and tons of people around.
Viva la independencia nacional! Viva Puerto Vallarta! Viva México! Viva México! Viva México!
The fireworks show here in Vallarta was out of this world and lasted. Like, I feel like we both thought, like, is everything okay? Because it lasted so long, it was so crazy.
What happened it wasn't a problem with the length of it. It was we were standing over by Los Arcos, the amphitheater, and we were standing there kind of waiting for the fireworks with our friends, like, oh, it's gonna be fun. Yeah. And the fireworks came off, like, shot off right there from where we were standing. So it felt like what's happening? What's going on? Are we supposed to be this close to the fireworks?
Yeah.
And it was just a very surreal moment, and also funny looking back, because that is so Mexican.
Yes. And then the next day, do you remember that? The parade?
I remember, we didn't know that there was we didn't know there was a military parade. We didn't know there was a parade. I think we were just wandering around town, had the camera with us, obviously. We didn't have the camera. This is before. No. We were just wandering around town, and we see the military marching down the streets. And I don't mean like the little trucks you see normally coming through town. No. I'm talking about
it was like a guy that looked like a tree. I feel like I distinctly remember that guy with, like, you know, all of their like most impressive weapons.
Yes.
Just like walking down the streets of Vallarta and being like, this guy's dressed like a tree. He's got weapons I've never seen anything like before. Like, what is happening? Is this, should I call the police? Is this guy here with the police? Like, what is happening? And just being like, remember we saw some crazy weapons that, like, never, like a showcase of arms,
It was just completely unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, like, we've obviously seen it now in Vallarta 2 times, twice in Mexico City, so we know what to expect now.
Yeah.
But just imagine you're walking through a foreign country, you know nothing about anything, and then you just see the military marching through the streets. Obviously, we quickly realized it was just a parade.
Impressive.
But although, like Hillary said, I don't know how like excited we were for Independence Day the first time, because we didn't know what to be excited about. Like, we didn't know what it was gonna be. I was excited to hear Viva Mexico in person. But really, I do remember being with our friends, celebrating, drinking some tequila at a restaurant, and like during all the Fiestas Patrias, feeling that pride really for the first time about Mexico, because we'd only been here for a month, but it was like, man, like, this is awesome. The whole town, the whole city turned out. This was a huge celebration just in a little city like Vallarta, And yeah, I think that's the first time I remember feeling proud to live in Mexico and really be a part of this culture. So going into year number 2, this would have been 2017 here in Vallarta. What do you remember from that?
Viva
Mexico!
I knew that the year before we had seen people completely decked out in Mexico garb, things like this. So we went all out in year 2 because we knew that other people would.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like look, your parents always told you you're a product of your environment, and I feel like because everyone else was so excited and proud, it made it really fun the second year to be a part of a party that you knew about.
Right, yeah.
The first year kind of felt like there was a party that we weren't invited to really because we had no idea, but the second year it felt like this is really cool, this is something very special, and it feels like fun to be a part of something, especially when that something is being proud.
We're back here on the streets. We're gonna find some dancing, find some festivals. It's a little early now. I feel like there's something missing. There we go. Now we're working. I feel like all I need is a Victoria or a Pacifico. Y estoy listo, amigos. Vámonos.
There are tons of people out. It's gonna be crazy.
¡Viva la independencia nacional!
¡Viva!
¡Viva Puerto Vallarta!
¡Viva!
¡Viva México!
¡Viva!
¡Viva México!
¡Viva!
¡Viva México!
¡Viva! How would you rate your screens?
It was a little weak. I need to go
You gotta up your game. It's okay. Well, maybe we'll have a few more years in Mexico for you to practice. Now, going into our third year, that would have been 2018. This would have been the first time in Mexico City for Independence Day. We had lived there before, or stayed there an extended period of time in Mexico City before, so that wasn't necessarily a shock. But what do you remember from our first Independence Day in Mexico City?
Tonight is El Grito. We are here. We are super excited. This has been a bucket list since day 1 in Mexico. 2 years later, got the eyelashes and the headband. We're here about 8 hours early, but we were told if we wanted a spot, this is what we needed to do, and we wouldn't miss this for the world. I remember feeling just very, very anxious until obviously El Grito was held in the huge Zocalo in Mexico City. We got there
We got to the Zocalo like super early.
Camped out. I remember, I actually forgot about this yesterday when we were chatting. I remember it started to rain and I went over to grab someone was giving away like free little cheap like ponchos.
We say ponchos in English, but I don't think that's a Spanish word, but I don't think they're called ponchos in Spanish.
Oh, okay, but like a rain poncho. You're right, a poncho is something else.
Yeah.
A rain poncho, like a thin plastic thing. And I went to get one and everyone was like, it was like getting on the metro in rush hour. Like everyone was like, I thought I was gonna be squished to death to get a poncho. Never got one, by the way. But it started raining. I remember like pacing ourselves to not drink water because we got there at 2.
We didn't want to pee.
Tried not to drink water because we couldn't lose our spot.
Did you tell them about the diapers?
We did not do that. But I remember just feeling like complete crap because we couldn't drink that much water because we didn't want to lose our spot, yada yada. We got there at 2. Lots of security. I remember getting in was sort of like, again, just like the anxiousness, the excitement, the giddiness.
Right.
I remember Sonora Dinamita.
Yes, that was our first introduction to cumbia.
Yes.
That was I'm sure we had heard cumbia before, but that was the first time like we'd really experienced cumbia, and since that day we have been hooked. I still don't know how to dance.
Every time I hear Sonora Dinamita though, I think back to that day of like, you know how your brain remembers like little tiny glimpses? I can still remember like certain songs, tons of people just dancing. We're sitting there camped out, dehydrated. Yes.
I remember just the emotions and the pride for us were like really high.
Goosebumps.
And
I remember just bursting into tears.
Is it all the lights or are tears coming to my eyes?
Tears are in my eyes. I was just so overwhelmed. It was like all we could do.
Yes. Now something I don't think we've ever told this story was that we were at El Grito with the Perms, with Justin and Mika and their 12 kids.
They actually had
We love you guys.
How many at the time?
They only had three at the time. Now they have 4.
A whole gaggle.
We miss you if you're watching. Dan was also there from the News Travel.
Yep.
And so it was after El Grito. We wanted to go to...
we needed food.
We wanted to go to Casa del Otoño. And Dan was like, all right, let's go to the one on Madero Street. Okay, so we walked down Madero Street, and it's like at the other end of Madero Street, which is not super far, but it's midnight and you're tired. It's like a mile down there. It was closed.
So we tried another one, and it was closed.
Did we try another one and it was closed too?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We tried another one. It was closed. We ended up going to this other pozole place.
I don't remember the name.
I don't remember the name of it. So it's like, I don't know, 1:30, like, I don't know.
Well, we were beat. Like the adrenaline is wearing off. We are all hangry.
We're just, hangry is the perfect word to describe it. I feel like this is just a thing with me.
This is a thing.
This has happened several times. I've gotten into legit arguments with people over this, but I asked for a glass of water, just a glass of water, not a bottle of water, a glass of water, just the free water that I don't care if it comes from the tap, I don't care if it comes from the garrafon, I just want a free glass of water because very cold. And of course they didn't give me one, so I like marched out of the store, went down to Oxo, got the biggest bottle I could, brought it back in. For some reason I just really remember that because it's like, I'm sure the water they were selling was like,
it's probably the same price.
It's probably the same price, but like out of principle, I just couldn't do it. But I just remember like hanging with Dan and Nari and the Perms. They were there, right, at dinner. And I don't know, I feel like that's something that we didn't show on camera that I'll always remember because
we were exhausted. All of us. We were like loopy, delirious. The restaurant was packed because there weren't very many places open at 1 a.m. So, and then what? Then
we went home. I edited that video from the Soclo, edited that day. So I guess at 2 o'clock, probably went to bed around 4. Got the video uploaded it the next morning.
Which internet speeds in Mexico City are a game in
not so good. We woke up hearing like, we heard the military outside. I was like, crap, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Went, got our spot for the military parade. And
today is Mexican Independence Day, September 16th, 2018. We're getting ready for a massive Mexican military parade.
What do you remember from the parade?
The military parade, the only thing we had seen was here in Vallarta. So again, not really knowing what to expect. We're not huge researchers in terms of like, I had never seen pictures or videos or really knew anything what to expect, but we got to our space around 8. The parade didn't even start till 11. So I remember just being like exhausted, right? Because we'd only slept maybe 2-3 hours at most, not knowing what to expect. And the parade lasted how long?
So long. We had no idea, but it was so long.
Hours. It was hours. And after the parade was over, I remember feeling like
just beat.
Just like, I don't know if we could ever do this again because it was such an adrenaline rush. But then coming off of that and seeing something incredible, man, the down off of that is rough.
One random funny thing that I remember from the parade is they were sitting there waiting, and the Perms they were a little bit behind us. They had kids to get ready and everything. Yeah. And we were just sitting there in our spot, and then out of nowhere I hear in like a super Mexican voice, "Oye, paisano!" and I turn around, and every Mexican turns around because it's just Mexicans.
And there's Justin and Mika like, "Hey guys!"
Now going into year 4, probably without a doubt, the best Independence Day, the best Fiestas Patrias that we have taken part of. Right after actually saying just the previous year that we would never do that again because it was just so.
Oh, we were back.
We had to go back.
We booked tickets probably that day.
We're addicts. So what do you remember from year 4 last year, Independence Day, Mexico City, AMLO's first? This isn't like, we're not endorsing AMLO, it just happened to be his first year. Look, everybody was excited.
The truth is there was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
It was like Nieto was the president the first time we went, and then AMLO was newly the president, had he even taken office yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he had.
Was newly the president the second year, and there was a lot of excitement, we'll say that. One way or another, the people were passionate.
Yeah, it's like whether you like him or not, I don't care whether you're not. Hype. People were excited chanting, Presidente.
We knew There was no doubt in our minds. I remember that day, again, like our second year here in Vallarta, feeling a huge, great sense of pride and just so, I mean, the most nervous and excited you've ever felt. I remember feeling a bit more pressure in terms of, look, we want to make good quality videos for you guys. We want you to feel as if you were standing next to us with the thousands and thousands of other people in the Socolo. And I remember feeling a bit more pressure to, it's almost like a wedding, right? Like you can't miss out the moment. So that morning of the 15th, I remember wandering around town and man, just the butterflies in my stomach, seeing the building anticipation a bit more than the first time really made it
I think
special.
Being more relaxed, being able to take it in better the second time, because it was like, okay, it's busy, but we know what to expect, we know kind of what it's going to be like, so I think there was less stress the second time, probably even more excitement about what was about to happen.
I think I also cried the second year because it's like you're just so overwhelmed. There's just nothing more you can do.
She cries a lot.
You've screamed, you've yelled, you've laughed. We were hoarse the next day. There was just nothing left but tears. Then right afterwards,
trying to leave the Socolo after the actual grito, the fireworks,
around
the whole show, right around midnight. This year was obviously, or this previous year, the year in which we're speaking about, was more packed. And as we're leaving, like, oh, okay, it's over. Like, it's over. It's midnight. It's 6 hours past my bedtime. Let's go home. We're staying in a place close by. We're gonna go home, edit the video. More people were coming in than going out. I thought us both. There was at one point where the crowd was pushing out. My feet weren't on the ground. I'm a big guy. I'm about 6'4". It's like 1.9 meters, 200 pounds, about just under 100 kilos. I'm not a small person. My feet were off the ground because of the people pushing us.
I thought for sure our camera gear was gonna get broken.
Yeah,
because
it was
everything
scary.
was being squished so tight. I mean, like which is so strange in times of COVID to think about how close we all were. I mean, people were literally just like in your space. Our cameras, a camera that I had was being squished against my insides, and I thought for sure it's gonna be broken, but at this point, like, I didn't care. As soon as we got squished out of the Socolo, more people were still trying to come in that I'm assuming wanted to be in the Socolo for some point, even though they probably couldn't get in for the actual grito.
Getting out now, this is crazy. My spleen says it was busier than last year. My squished.
Yeah, there was some serious pushing, shoving, and possibly trampling that guy that went on. We didn't catch my camera, but amigos,
A lot of people.
what a night, what an event. Somehow there's more people still going into the Socolo than going out. I'm a little confused on how that's working.
But the streets were so crazy, full of people, and I think that was something that was hard to show in the video, how much of a party, and I don't know how they would count the number of people that were there, but it was, for lack of a better way to describe it, it was nuts. That brought us off the high real quick because it took us maybe an hour.
It took us an hour to go like 3 blocks.
Just to get out of there, but the excitement on the streets was something really cool.
Yes.
Just people just yelling and having such a big party was special, and I don't remember that the first year.
I'm going into, obviously that night, we edited the video, got that ready, but we didn't go out to eat that year. It was like, okay, last year trying to find food was crazy. We planned ahead, we had food at
Girl
home.
Scout.
I think we had some panaderia, Madrid or something at home. We edited the video, got up early the next morning to get our spot because it was like, if it was that busy at the Socolo, it's going to be more busy for the parade.
We were just under an hour away before the parade starts. The anticipation is building, the lines are forming, the crowd is forming. It is getting extremely busy.
Yeah.
What I remember from the parade was not just getting there early, but getting there early at 7, 8 o'clock. What time did we get there?
Yeah, I think 7.
For their parade at what time?
11.
For a parade at 11. And not just finding a spot and hanging out, chilling and waiting, having to fight to hold the spot, body to body. Some other family is right next to you, and if you move an inch, the other person will take an inch. And
it's like going to war with your body, which for Greg is one thing, but like I'm a tiny person. I feel like the whole time I was trying to stand like.
You can't get. I mean, there's so many people
if you
that want to get
have
in
an itch on your foot, forget it because you're gonna lose that foot spot. I remember not being able to stand the whole time. My back was killing me, so I tried to sit down for a while. But like on the streets in Mexico City, we sat, we stood, we got hot and cold. That was something I remember.
Yeah,
putting our jackets off and on. When it was cloudy, it would be cold. Then the sun would come out, we'd be sweating, and again, just body to body people. I remember specifically this girl had climbed up on top of
this
newspaper stand type of thing, and the cops were trying to tell her to get down. Everyone was yelling at her, and she was not getting down. And I thought that is a good place to film. Like that's where like she's not fighting for any space. Again, the military parade lasted forever. So impressive, and I feel like that's something that that's a different experience when families around you are cheering for first responders. And I specifically remember the teams of dogs who go into rubble after, and like I have goosebumps again even thinking about again the pride of everyone around us for the military, for the first responders, all different sorts of people. Was something really special to be a part of.
All that to say, we love Independence Day. We love living we love living in Mexico and being able to take part in the traditions of Mexico. Thanks to our Mexican audience here, our Mexican friends for really being so open to foreigners, embracing Mexico. Thank you for embracing us. Every Independence Day.
It's okay. You're getting emotional? Or is that the smoothie coming out?
Every Independence Day, every Independence Day has meant something different to us. We have different memories from it, and I think it's really because at each Independence Day, we have felt differently. Our life in Mexico has changed. Our feelings about Mexico have changed. Always positive, but our knowledge of Mexico has been growing, of the language, of the culture. It's evolving, exactly. So we cannot wait for this year's Independence Day. We don't know what it's going to be like. It's a little weird. There's this Corona thing going on. Not sure if you've heard about it. So this year will probably be the most memorable Independence Day. I'm not sure if in a good way or a bad way. Either way, we have a few things planned. We're going to have fun. We hope you have fun. And until next time,
Bye-bye.
Viva Mexico!
Y viva Mexico!